How you going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, and we've got a bit of a big one here. I do like my Sukhoi range, of course, so we've got an Su-35 Flanker here, obviously from Hobby Master in 1/72nd scale diecast. Now we have a Red 06 from the 23rd Fighter Regiment of the 303rd Guards Composite Air Division. Now, this and other aircraft were sent to Latakia in Syria in late 2015 and to aid President al-Assad's government. Now, the Russians used this opportunity to field test both the Su-35 and its crews under combat conditions, and thus providing them with invaluable crew training and also expose the aircraft to potential foreign buyers as well. Now, speaking of exposing, how about we expose our eyeballs to this thing out of the box? All right, let's get this open and check out this awesome-looking model from Hobby Master. All right, with the Su-35 out of the box, this is a brand new purchase, although it is an older one. It does look to be still sealed. Everything looks to be sealed brand new. So you do have some weapons in a little baggie here. A little bit of ordnance. We always like to kit these out. These SUs are always really kitted out with some decent ordnance to put on. As you can see there, that looks really nice. That is really well detailed. And of course, well, we need some instructions, so you get some of those. That is always good. Yep. That's in there. And out of the bag, we should be able to just open them up. So if you don't have any instructions, ta-da, here you do. And that is some really nice, detailed, comprehensive instructions, and a decent size too. That is pretty cool. Oh, you do, well, it appears you do get two separate exhaust nozzle options. That's pretty cool. All right, let us check out the rest. Now, we do get a stand. That is, oh, it's got the nice nameplate on there, which is pretty cool. I think the newer ones, they've started deleting that to save some dollars, I think. And this is what it looks like set up. It's very nice. The shaft is metal and the base is plastic, of course. That will give it enough stability to hold this into place. Now, let us get this open. Ooh, I'm looking forward to this. All right. Plenty of Hobby Master tissues. It is always good when they provide you with plenty of tissues to wipe away those tears of joy. So in here, let's have a little look. We'll move those out of the way. So you do have a open canopy piece in that baggie, and you do have some landing gear options in this one, and the nose wheel obviously in that one, that module right there. And in this baggie we have ourselves the well, gear bay doors, all the little bits and pieces that we will have fun installing. And in this final one we have, well, the other exhaust nozzles. That does look pretty cool. And oh, is there something hiding? Oh, well, there's exhaust nozzles there too. So apparently we do need to make that choice before we do anything. So how about we talk about choices? We get this choice model out of the foam and have a little look before we actually start doing anything to the aircraft. All right, let's move this foam out of the way. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's why they provide you with tissues. This is awesome. All right, let's have a little look at these details. Those panel lines are beautifully done. They are, well, very visible. Some people think that they are a little bit too deep. It comes down to your own opinion and what you want from a model, of course. I don't have any view on either way. I do think this presents very well. Got some really nice details in there. Now, of course, we do have that canopy option, so we should be able to get that open to have a little look inside there. You can see a little bit of gauge detail. I always find with the Russian aircraft there is not much room. They are a little bit squeezy inside. You don't really get to see the cockpit details that easy. But this does look really nice. It's really hard to see. There is deep in there. You can slot. It's probably not going to come out in the camera. There is a little bit of turbofan detail in there, but boy, it is really deep in those intakes. But the camouflage scheme is beautiful, and the paint is really well applied. The details, that is really nice. I suppose one thing you can pick on, I think there's normally some flares or that kind of thing running through here, but it doesn't have that sort of on the, just has the doors, I suppose, but not in the open position and visible. But that is, well, you can see the engine details right there. So you do have that choice of the two different engine nozzles to put over those engine points there, which is pretty cool. So obviously you'll probably have one that's open and one that's more closed, but there's no moving parts or anything as per usual with the Hobby Master ones. For me, that is no issue whatsoever. Sometimes moving parts can be an issue. You fiddle around with things too much, they do tend to drop off. I speak from experience. But overall, you can see all the points where we do need to fix all that ordnance that these Sukhois normally do get kitted out with. They are really fully laden, but this is going to be awesome to set up. So speaking of that, let us set it up. All right, we'll kit this out in flight and we'll come right back. Alrighty, here we are with it set up in flight. Very straightforward, the usual deal. You just put the nose wheel cover there, and of course your main gear bay doors there. They do prop up a little bit at the end, as you can see. That is just the way they go. Sometimes they sit flush like that one. That one's pretty awesome, but unfortunately this one is kicking up a little bit. Now you can, if you want to glue them with some white glue or something to make them sit a little bit better. Now, the ordnance went on straight forward. There was no issues. You just bang, 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 bang. A lot of banging, and that is a job done. And that is friggin' awesome. It looks absolutely insane. I reckon this does set up very nicely, and that is pretty much all you got to do. Now, I did whack the little pilot figure that you do get provided in there. He sits in there without a drama. Was not hard to insert at all. So for you guys that do put your pilots in your aircraft, I don't. That's why I don't very often show this, but I thought I'd show you in this video. But this does look freaking awesome. Now, to put on the stand, very straightforward. There's your stand hole. Yeah, you can see a problem right now, can't you? So you do have to take this ordnance off, unfortunately, if you want to chuck your stand in the stand hole, well, stand slit, and it is a tight fit. So we will chuck it on the deck and put a little bit of pressure on there and try and get it to seat in there. As I said, it is a little bit of a tight fit, and these can be a little bit of a pain to put on and to seat in their position, but that is a job done, and it does look freaking awesome. I reckon these Sukhois look absolutely insanely good, and I like the Hobby Master ones, and they look awesome as well. I did put the stock sort of exhaust on the back, as you can see there. You do get provided with these exhaust pieces, which I think sort of are vectoring downwards, so they're adjustable sort of nozzles on the exhaust. You can put them on, I'll chuck them on when we do gear down so you can see what they look like on the aircraft, of course. And speaking of gear down, let us go do that right now. We'll put some wheels on this, chuck it on the scales, and see what she weighs. All right, we'll be back in just a second. All right, here we have it set up for gear down. Obviously, very straightforward. The landing gear pushes in very easily. Front nose wheel is just that module that you can see there. And then, of course, you've got your two main wheels that you do need to push in. They are metal, so you can put a little bit of force to push them in. Now, if you can see the two gear bay doors there, there's a gear bay door there and one in front of it. That larger gear bay door doesn't look like it wants to push all the way home. I tried really hard to get that to push in, but I don't know if it's supposed to sit like that, but I can't get mine to go in on either side. They both sit like that on either side. So, but it sits there, it doesn't drop out. It's pushed in as far as it can go, but they were quite easy to put in as long as you're being careful with your thumbs. But overall, very nice and easy to do. You can put your ordnance back on and put that little plug over the stand slit, of course, and you put the other nozzles on, and that's probably the hardest part. Well, not putting them on, is taking the other ones off. They just would not come off. They were a pain in the butt to get them off mine, and but you put these alternative nozzles on, which look pretty cool. It's just another really cool feature. And of course, you put the open canopy on to have it in that open position, and that's how it does look. Looks pretty cool. I reckon it sits beautifully. And this, of course, is the pilot figure if you want to have a little closer look at it. And it does go in there very nicely. What we got to do, I suppose, is check out the weight. And we will do that right now. we'll see how much this big girl does weigh. It is a pretty hefty size, these line of aircraft, and I really do like them. I don't know if I've said that enough. So we got 405 grams. Actually a little bit lighter than I thought it was going to be, but that's still not a bad weight. I think it does, present very well. It does hold, like the hand feel is still very nice. But yeah, all right, we will wind up this video, I suppose. As per usual, I will take some photos of this and throw them on at the end of the video. I reckon it is a nice looking model, of course, from Hobby Master. And if you agree, don't forget, throw some of those my way. And of course, feel free to comment down below and let me know your thoughts on, if you've got one yourself or anything you want to ask me on the channel. All right, everyone, and don't forget, hey, if you have not subscribed and you're watching and you haven't clicked that button, feel free to click the subscribe button too if you want to be kept up to date with all my videos that I do occasionally put out. All right, everyone, with that, I will say thank you, of course, for dropping past and checking out another one of our videos. I hope you enjoyed what you saw today. All right, you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Cheers, everyone.